This model is used to simulate an anterior abdominal wall hernia. The fascia and muscles on the undersurface of the porcine abdominal wall have been cut to create a hernial defect. The balloon in the box is supporting a segment of porcine small bowel filled with fluid and tied at both ends, protruding through the hernial defect. A layer of polythene is separating the bowel from the abdominal wall to simulate the peritoneum. Make an incision in the skin over the hernia. Deepen the incision to delineate the hernial defect. I'm going to demonstrate a sublay technique for repairing the hernia. Define the margins of the hernial defect by creating a plane anterior to the fascia. It is also important to create a plane posterior to the fascia in the preperitoneal space to ensure that A, the hernia is reduced, and B, there is room for a mesh. A finger sweep confirms adequate clearance both above and below the fascia. Once the hernial defect has been clearly defined, shape a mesh to an appropriate size. For a sublay technique, the diameter of the mesh should be greater than the diameter of the hernial defect. In this model, the defect is about 5 cm in diameter, so I have cut a 10 cm diameter circle out of the mesh. I'm going to demonstrate a parachute technique for mesh insertion, which relies on non-absorbable sutures being placed at 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock. Starting with the 12 o'clock suture, take a bite from outside to in on the fascia using the handle of a pair of forceps to protect the underlying peritoneum and bowel. Then take a bite of the mesh, going from out to in, then in to out. Lastly, take a bite of fascia from in to out and clip both ends of this suture to tie later. By placing sutures in this manner, the mesh will be pulled into the preperitoneal space. Repeat these sutures at 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. You are now in a position to parachute the mesh. You should take the sutures at 12 and 6 o'clock, and your assistant should take the sutures at 3 and 9 o'clock. You should both pull with a gentle motion to ease the mesh into the preperitoneal space. Using your finger, flatten the mesh out within the preperitoneal space. Each of these sutures should now be tied and cut. Using a non-absorbable suture, insert a continuous stitch all around the fascial defect, suturing fascia to mesh. The hernia repair is now complete. Subcutaneous tissues can be closed using a suture such as 2 ovicral.